Dzień dobry. Witam w kolejnym odcinku serii Ostatni i jak w menu było non-stop głośna muzyka, tak teraz nie ma muzyki wcale. What the fuck? Jest to człowiek konkretny, wali z mostu jak ze strzelby w nery. Aha. Jeżeli będę brzmiał trochę przeziębiony, no to taki jestem, niestety. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry for what my sister said. No już nie pamiętam, jakie im głosy dawałem. Rise from the ashes? Rise from the ashes. Coś mi mówi ta nazwa.
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. And that's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved.
I didn't know. Tak się nazywa obecna sprawa? Aha, okej. Już nie pamiętam tej... Ostatni raz w to graliśmy 20 lutego. Prawie miesiąc temu. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Drake killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings, but me. Alana wanted Drake convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Drake's last victim was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Drake tried to kill me. What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. Ouch! So, that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Drake trial. I didn't see that coming. Masz coś więcej do powiedzenia o tym? It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Drake. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Drake tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then... What happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. When I saw them burn a permanent picture in my mind, I can still see it now. A permanent picture. After the incident. I don't remember the moment when Drake stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why she made up the crime. Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true, even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. Huh.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold, like she is today.
She must not have been able to face up what she did, especially not to Emma. Powiedz mi więcej o tym... nieciągłym, tylko trwałym zdjęciu, które ten piorun wypalił w twojej głowie. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred?
Drake knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out.
Oh.
When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma, you've been through so much. The fuck? Czemu stoi sama w pustym w sali sądowej?
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good.
2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable.
Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies.
Okay.
And find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. Something puzzling. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma.
What is it?
You said you were in Lana's office at the time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Running. Not only that, but he was being chased by the prosecutor.
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Drake had been taken in for questioning that day.
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview.
Interview? Przesłuchanie interview? Okay.
And fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective's offices and the questioning room are right across the elevator.
Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Drake case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective? O, to zmienia postać rzeczy. Nie wiem w jaki sposób, ale I'd better have another talk with her. Okay. Detention center. Boom.
Lana.
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Falsifying evidence? I didn't think you were the type.
Criminals don't mind paying foul. Why should we?
But Lana, you're wrong. An innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Lana, Emma told me about you.
Oh?
About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about that unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
No. Today's trial. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At the trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Ohoho! Cyrograf z diabłem podpisała, czy co? Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana. What the witness, Miss Starr, said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lena look so phased before. Wow, czemu muzyka się na chwilę wyciszyła?
It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing.
No.
They still talk about the cases she and Chief Gunn cracked together.
Chief Gans?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scene. Damn and gown, he was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Emma really idolized her big sister. Czy powiedzieć mi, jak nazywa się motyw Damona Ganta? Motyw? Jaki motyw? But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes, so you could use that experience in court, right?
Gunn's help in the SL9 case was crucial to his resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. Drake investigation.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Drake.
Second in command? That means the investigation lead was Damon Gunn, right?
Yes, Deputy Chief Gunn and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office?
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marsha and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marsha worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho? What the fuck? Gung-ho? Without a doubt, Joe Drake was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
Motyw muzyczny Ganta. Aha. Swimming anyone? What the fuck? Serio? When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marsha was trying to save me from Drake.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us. First one at the scene.
Damon Gunn and Neil Marsha were the ones questioning Drake that day. The investigation was in its final stages, as Drake must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gunn and Marshall let the guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gunn and myself.
That's where he found me.
Tak to nic przy look at me. I just want love. Look at me! Pamiętam. Chyba te imiona tutaj są piękne. Tak samo jak Gamsiu. Look at me. I just want love. So, you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana.
It appears so. I was filling some papers while Gunn and Marsha were questioning Drake.
What the f... Huh?
When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out,
and the suspect, Joe Drake. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Drake had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
What did you do?
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room and just held her.
Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Drake under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the Ostatni incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence, eh?
I don't buy it. Ta scena wygląda, jakby ktoś zabił kolesia, a ten się zabił tak umiejętnie, że to wyglądało, jakby ktoś jeszcze go zabił. Nie, to wyglądało, jakby ktoś się przewrócił na kogoś, a jakaś osoba trzecia przebyła ich obydwu kataną. To tak wyglądało dla mnie.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. Just by chance.
But that case was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall, yes, his action came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Drake.
Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted but dragged at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Demon Gunn and I shared. The office that Mr. Gunn now occupies by himself, the chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Okay. Co takiego mogę jeszcze znaleźć w tym podziemnym parkingu, what the fuck? No one's here today, not even Miss Star.
Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are.
But we proved in court today that on the day of the crime, no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15.
Yeah, though we were finally making some headway in our case.
But instead it looks like we just end up making Lana look even more guilty.
Hang in there, Lana.
I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. Oh. Czy tu się coś zmieniło?
That's about as red as a sports car can get.
Yep, it's pretty red, alright. The body was found in Edward's car trunk. And the lock of the trunk was broken. So the question is, why did Miss Sky choose his car? Jest oskarżony i detektyw na przesłuchaniu. Mówi oskarżony. Przecież ona sama upadła na ten nóż, gdy potknęła się na schodach. Odpowiada oburzony detektyw 37 razy. Nie ja budowałem budynek i nie ja zbudowałem do 37 stopni.
So what model car is it?
I think it was called sedan or a coupe, something like that.
Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know those things.
Ja się też kompletnie na tak nie znam, what the fuck. Maybe it's about time I got my driver's license. No nie, ja mam prawo jazdy chociaż.
That's where we found that note. 2/21 SL9, the SL9 incident. A case that was due to transfer on the day of the murder. I never knew the SL9 incident referred to
the Joe Drake killings. Everyone in this case played some part in that incident. This has to be more than just sheer coincidence.
This robe, is it?
Yep. They laid it in the outline of the victim's body.
So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him.
You have got to be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Yeah, myślałem, że możemy wyciągnąć coś z tego tłumika, ale chyba już to wyciągnęli. Nie ma tu chyba nic, co by mnie interesowało. Chyba najzabawniejszy żart o policji, nie licząc tego ze studentów? Studentów? O tych, co wysyłali kolesia z misją ratunkową? O to ci chodzi? Czy zastaliśmy Edgewortha w jego pokoju? Nope.
Mr. Edgeworth isn't here.
Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee? He took a real beating in court today.
Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago.
I guess we'll just have to come back later. Okay. W takim razie do Departamentu Policji. Jest córka w ciąży, studentka i rozmawia burzliwie z matką. Mówi, mama mówi, czemu jesteś w ciąży? Córka odpowiada, upadłam na jednego studenta na imprezie i jakoś się stało. Okej. Widać, upadki potrafią być nieprzewidywalne. Ktoś potrafi upaść na nóż 37 razy, a ktoś a inna osoba od upadku potrafi zajść w ciąży. What the... Jak tak można stać? Howdy, Bambino.
Oh, Mr. Marshall.
I never thought things turned out this way when I woke up this morning. Que sera, sera. Que sera, sera. Aż mi się ta piosenka przypomniała. You never know where the life leads you, eh, Bambina? I should know my luck had run out when old Billy the Wright up this morning. Billy? It must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But, Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why do prosecutors head west? Prospectors, przepraszam. If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Drake Trail. Something was fishy about the trail from the beginning. It wasn't just me that all the detectives thought so. What do you mean fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe Drake's, alright. But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised.
A question?
The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. Oh! However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL9 incident left behind?
Prosecutor Marshall. I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. Ah, dobra. Was our first case together.
How old was he, your brother?
He was 27 at the time.
O, w moim wieku był gościu.
He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor, you mean the...
King of Prosecutors.
I knew it.
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. The day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as...
That's right, it was the day of the evidence transferal.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you.
Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. Co za blizny pozostawiła ta sprawa SL9? There was something going on behind the scene in that case. We all knew that latter. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Star was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough to not be too obvious. They? What are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambino. I mean Damangant and Lana Sky. Gant is Sky. The investigation lead, Damangant, and his second in command, Lana Sky. Fajna nutka leci. Z ciekawości, jak się nazywa ten soundtrack, który leci przy tym marszalu całym? There wasn't a person at force who hadn't heard of that duo. Wandering Detective from the Wild West. Tak nazywa się utwór muzyczny Marszala. Czyżbym czytał ci w myślach, albo ty mi? Odpowiedziałeś coś za szybko. Wandering Detective from the Wild West. Okej, pasuje do niego. Na pewno bardziej niż do Ganta Swim, anybody? That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. Wiedziałeś, że o to zapytam? After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Demogod, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She'd never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Jak można tak chodzić, kuźwa? Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentioned it, I must say something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lena's secret. It all started 2 years ago. Bull? Masz rację, trzeba się odkazić. So there we have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening. There's one thing for sure I found out in the court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used the falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gans. Damon? To jest chyba Damon, bo to by pasowało. Wtedy jego imię to jest Demon. Don't believe me? Grand Demon, właśnie. Wielki demon. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. What the fuck, co to było? Korek wyrwał zębami? Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambino. What the fuck happened? Criminal Affairs Department. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Oh, you're looking for the others? They are in the conference room.
Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
With the chief prosecutor saying what she did and their decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media and tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief's gun office.
Marvin Grosberg miał bardzo sztywną nazwę swego film. Age, Regret, Retribution. Huh.
Just use the connection hallway to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers of anything.
Hey, you're right, you can go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see where Detective Gumshoe got his unique charm.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office.
Chief's office. What the fuck? Co on jest wampirem? Fajne zdjęcie tak w ogóle. Na ścianie. Whoa, where am I?
In the chief office, silly. At least that's what it said on the floor.
On the door. On the floor. Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
Hey, I used to take organ lessons in kindergarten. They used to call me Little Miss Bach.
Nie Beach. Bach. My już się płyniemy. No chyba. What the?
I never could remember where she was.
Huh? Ah, it's Yeto.
Trzeba uratować się od wielkiego demona. Chief Guns. He put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, Wright, have you been swimming lately?
Oh Boże. Swimming, anyone? No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I've had my hands full too with Mr. Marshall's misconduct and Lana's provocative statement.
Provocative statement? Oh, you mean about the forged evidence?
2 years have passed since that incident. My, how time flies. See that big picture on the wall over there? That's a picture of Lana, Nia and me.
Chciałeś przytoczyć nazwę jego utworu specjalnie do Swimming Lately. Dokładnie. So, this is Mr. Marshall's brother, Prosecutor Neil Marshall.
We took it to commemorate our work together.
Something not right with this picture. Ta waza, którą znaleźliśmy w szafce Goodmana. What the fuck? I dlaczego tam jest zbroja obok nich? Albo przynajmniej coś, co wygląda jak zbroja. I can't quite seem to put my finger on it though. Gun team picture added to the court record. Okay. Czy on zasnął?
Anyway, I'd like to reminisce it all day, but there are matters that need my attention. I'm going to lock up here, so let's go back together.
Oh. But this office, it was a crime scene 2 years ago, wasn't it?
That case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around. Pamiętasz nazwę utworu muzycznego Marvina Grossberga? Coś tam było Age, Regret, Retribution, tak? Wystarczyło, że przeczytałem twój komentarz sprzed kilku minut.
Perhaps you didn't hear me. I said there's no need to investigate it anymore.
No.
Now hurry up and get out. I have a meeting to attend.
Looks like we weren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet, after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gantz denied our request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. Już wiesz, czemu jest tam waza Grossberga? Dystrybucja majątku własnego jak z Wrightem. To była waza Grossberga? What? Czemu Ja powiedziałem Goodmana, tego, którego... że znaleźliśmy to w szafce Goodmana, tego, którego zamordowali w trakcie... którego niby Lana zabiła, zadźgała. U Grossberga tylko pamiętam wielki obraz, który później się znalazł u tego gościa z błyszczącymi zębami. Nie pamiętam, jak on się nazywał. Usłyszałeś Grossberga? Aha, okej. Okay.
You mean like a clue? There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
Może wrócił już Edgeworth? Nope. Oh. Gumshoe? It's you? Hey, Paul! Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting? I'm, just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sittings too long?
Actually, from serving everyone coffee. Sounds like Detective Gumshoe is still out of the loop. Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth? Edgeworth? No. Why do you ask? He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battle between you two in court. That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. And now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Eeks!
Edgeworth's crisis. But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Skye is the guilty party here, isn't she? Oops. Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court. Not only that. But as you know, there's been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who don't like him. But now, with this...
Are there really so many people who hate him?
In our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe by now for making enemies.
Hey, Dick! Keep up the good work!
Yes, sir.
Dick, zapomniałem, że on się nazywa Dick.
Let's go out for lunch again sometime, it's my treat.
Yes, sir.
You gotta take me back to that joint sometimes, okay, dick?
Yes, sir.
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack. Actually, I took a look at the file area, where the coffee was brewing.
He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth.
Well, did you find out anything? The only detective Drake left behind was during his final attack. Evidence, przepraszam, nie detective.
Boże, czytać dzisiaj nie umiał. His final attack, you mean?
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl.
Me? It seems Detective Gumshoe never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what about it?
Let's see, I think it has something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forgot. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress. Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory. Drake crimes.
Joe Drake was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car.
With his car? So it was an accident?
An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
An animal?
He killed a man that witnessed the accident, then he killed a lady. A kid walked by just then, so killed him too, then he was...
Czemu on tu się przebija? Nie umie tak szybko czytać.
Finally, he turned himself in. A jogger came up the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself in.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal.
Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence.
So he turned himself in...
Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered his final victim, Prosecutor Marshall. That crime was witnessed by someone too, but likely Drake was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that the last witness wasn't killed.
That last witness... aka Emma! Okej, mamy mu pokazać... narzędzie zbrodni. About this.
Hey, it's that...
It has a tag attached to it, with the label SL9 incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of? Co on taki zdyszany? Przecież tylko kawę podawałeś, gościu.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
On the day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And was found in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again! What the f... This knife, it was Joe Drake's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the study he bought it at, plus it had his fingerprints on it.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where the broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body.
Kurde.
It was found deep inside the stopwatch.
Did it match Drake's knife?
You bet, down the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Neil's autopsy report added to the court record. Oh! Stabbed in the back, died from punctured heart and lung.
A knife tip was in the wound.
Okay. Switchblade knife updated in the court record. The broken tip was found in the victim's body, belonged to murderer Joe Drake. Well, there you have it in a nutshell. That's all I know.
Can I ask you one more thing?
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Guns.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Kurde. Właśnie będę musiał iść wysmarkać. The chief's out now and his office is locked. But we like to have a good look around here, if that's okay.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door.
What, really?
But if I let a civilian in the... I'd be charged with a breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Richard, Dick to skrót od Richarda. Gumshoe może podawać każdemu kawę, a w takiej jednostce policyjnej może być ponad 100 osób i ma jedną maszynę do kawy. Wow, człowiek uczy się całe życie. Nigdy bym się nie domyślił, że Dick to jest skrót od Richard. Jak oni na to wpadli? Przecież to nawet nie jest podobne do siebie. Simply put, I'd be conned.
Oh.
Sorry, Paul. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
How about this ID card? It was Detective Goodman's.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
Oh. So in other words, Gumshoe is our only chance of getting into that office. I wonder if there's something we could show him that would make him change his mind.
Co możemy mu pokazać? Tą wazę? Pomyśl, jak Gumshoe musi latać ze zrobioną kawą, żeby zacząć robić drugą tak dla 100 osób. No, niezbyt miłe zajęcie. About that jar, I think I've seen it before somewhere. Somewhere? Or maybe it's one of those memories people have from previous lives. This must be the most uninformative detective I ever met. Something about it makes me feel uneasy. It's like I'm in the chief's office and he's yelling at me. Chief can't. Where could I have seen that before? Tutaj! Let me share a little advice with you as a detective. If you don't have a clue, keep it up. Keep your trap shut. I'll keep up that in mind. Sheesh. Edith Kirby, Jeb Bates, Jason Knight, Richard, przepraszam. Ho. Może to mu mam pokazać?
That's the ID card record, isn't it?
Yes, there's only one number left to investigate at 4:20 p.m. O, dziękuję za hosta, panie Tokusaka. Ta waza jest tak zrobiona dziwnie z perspektywy, że wydaje się bardziej płaska niż typowa 14-latka. The victim, Detective Goodman, must have entered the evidence room along with someone else. Someone with an executive office number. Executive.
777777777777777.
That's 1 7 too many, detective. An executive officer. I may just have a hunch. Ja od początku się zastanawiałem, czy to będzie Gant. Co ja jeszcze mu mam pokazać? Okej, nie to. Ups. Rękawiczka? Nie.
No locker can be opened without a fingerprint match. Besides, there's no reason for the murderer to touch his own locker.
Hey, wasn't your locker the one with the blood on it, detective?
The handprint of the real murderer's gloved hand without any fingerprints.
Shh! If they come to arrest me, you'll defend me, won't you?
If that happens, I think you'll do better pleading with Edgeworth. Sam przyznaj, że wizerunek tej wazy jest bardzo dziwny, tak. Pierwszy raz widzę wazę, która jest bardzo wąska na dole i się rozszerza do góry. Musi być w cholerę niestabilna ta waza.
Hey, that's it! That's the king of prosecutors award that Mr. Edgeworth get on the other day.
Were you at the award ceremony, Detective Gumshoe?
Of course, Paul. I got an award for diligence myself.
Congratulations.
I was wondering, why is the award a shield? And why is it broken?
Oh, there's a reason. I'll tell you what it is later.
Apparently he forgot. Founded Mr. Edgeworth's car, stabbed with Mr. Edgeworth's knife.
What would drive Chief Prosecutor Sky to do such a thing? Wait, I didn't mean I mean, sure, of course, someone else really did it. Someone who must have a grudge against Mr. Edgeworth.
This guy almost made us lose the case today.
What are you talking about? He was guarding the bloodstain on that evidence locker with his life. That's more than you can say about most officers nowadays.
It would have saved us a lot of trouble if he hadn't guarded it so well.
I have to admit it's right though. Thanks to the Blue Badger, we were able to prove another possibility today. The possibility that another murder took place prior to 5:15 p.m. Motyw muzyczny Richarda Ganshu do Dick Ganshu. Aha. Czyżby mi brakowało jakiegoś dowodu? Co mu mam pokazać? Co go zmusi do mówienia?
I've been studying up on those files. There's nothing wrong with Mr. Edgeworth's presentation. To think people are accusing him of injustice. I for one ain't buying it, Paul.
You're looking into the case for Mr. Edgeworth?
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal while it was going on, you know. After all, a serial killer was on the loose.
But Lana was pretty clear in her confession. She forged evidence in order to prove Joe Drake guilty. Najwidoczniej czegoś mi brakuje. Już mu pokazałem wszystko. Okej. Może musimy wrócić do Lany? Nie ma ciekawych motywów muzycznych w pierwszej części, ale w następnej będzie o wiele lepiej. Okej. Może tą wazę jej mogę pokazać? Nie. W ogóle ona ma pusty dół. Ta waza. Dobra, ale zastanawiać się, co mam do cholery zrobić, będę w następnym odcinku. Dzięki za uwagę. Widzimy się następnym razem. Adios!